Okay, hi everybody. Now we're in week 2. Now we're going to switch gears a little bit. Last week we focused on Plato, and kind of the introduction of this kind of communal thinking about justice and what's just and what's right. And he talks about 3 parts of the soul. But the takeaway from Plato is that he saw behavior as a communal activity. You see, that all of us had an obligation to kind of focus in on the best parts of us, if you will, to make society better. It was, as I say, it's a communal obligation. Now this week we jump into chapters 2 and 3. And in chapter 2, what you're going to find is that Aristotle, Plato's student, enters the picture. And it's not so much that he disagrees with Plato, but he offers up a more rational plan for a just society. For Aristotle, his focus is friendship. And what you're going to read and what I need you to think about is what Aristotle said is, the focus really needs to be on the family, you see, and it needs to be a smaller unit where these things that Plato was trying to, kind of develop, the goodness of us, the best in all of us, okay, would be developed at a family level. And then families could then, create the friendships amongst other families that would lead to this communal behavior that Plato wanted. See, Plato didn't think of it like that. See, for him, we were all just one big unit. Where Aristotle says, that's a nice idea, but the reality of it is, family's important. Okay? People have to have a direct connection to their families. By doing that, that's going to help improve the best parts of the soul, and that's going to create the people to behave in the best way possible for the society. So you want to focus on what he saw as friendship and the importance of friendship. Okay? And then as we get into what then becomes ethical behavior. Okay, what's right behavior? A fine line between just and ethics, right? We're kind of moving into ethics this week, and to what's the right thing to do in the situation. Justice, is kind of the common good. Well, it's a term we'll use all the time. What's best for the common good, all of us? What is the common good? And what we need to do is what's best for everybody. Where Aristotle introduces this notion that when you break society down into smaller units, family units, and you create these friendships and the importance of friendship toward each other, now you get certain situations where what happens and the decision you have to make is ethical or the right thing for that situation that may be different for other situations. You see, Plato was kind of a perfect society, one-size-fits-all guy. And Aristotle's going, I don't think that can really work. It's a good idea, but I think we have to work in smaller incremental units to address these specific situations and these unique situations that come up. Okay? And you'll see that. Then in chapter 3, then we enter religion. We introduce religion into the mix with Aquinas and St. Augustine. And now we introduce this next notion again of, ethical behavior, doing the right thing because it's right. And see, what we want to look at this week and think about, there's a difference between doing something because you benefit from it and doing something because it truly is the right thing to do. All right? And you'll see in this week's scenario, there's a human resources issue you have to deal with that. But you see, the religious aspect of it is there are behaviors that are right all the time. And there are certain behaviors that are wrong all the time. Okay? And when you start to move off of those, all right, then you have to start making decisions, right? And how do you determine if your decision is really what's just, right? What's ethical versus just what's politically or personally expedient? And that's what these philosophers are dealing with, okay? They're trying, again, remember, we live in a very complex and very well-developed society. These men are writing in times where society, and a well-developed society, really isn't there yet. They're struggling to come to grips with how to create a society, how to create a system of ethics, an idea of morality that will encompass and take all of society that people can agree to and go, yeah, this is what we should do. We should follow the law, okay, as the religious philosophers will tell us, because it's the right thing to do. You shouldn't follow the law because you fear the consequences of it. You see? So all of these philosophers are working along this line of trying to develop what's the right thing to do, what's the best way to articulate to the masses of people what the right thing to do is, so people will respond in a way in which society benefits. See, all of them are greatly concerned with self-interest. All right? All of them are very much concerned with the notion that people are motivated by self-interest. And if that self-interest takes hold, the common good and the best interest of society gets damaged. Okay? So that's the focus you want to look at. When you get in Aristotle, look into how he breaks society down into the family unit and how he focuses on the importance of friendship and developing friendships which will develop what's best for society. Then when you get into the religious thinkers, look at how they define this idea of ethics. What's ethical or right behavior? When is the time to question this kind of behavior? Why should you follow the rules? What's the benefit? What's the package that kind of comes along with that, okay? So you see we've got quite a bit of stuff going this week. We have got our quiz, we have our discussion, we have our writing assignment, and we also have the course, introducing our course topic this week for our course project. Now I'll talk more about that on the live lecture. I'll cover those specific assignments in the live lecture this week. But that when you're reading, that's the stuff you want to look at, okay? So focus on the notion of friendship and ethics, you know, what's right behavior. When is it okay to try to look at or try to apply behavior in certain situations versus over the totality of the society, okay? All right, if you have any questions, as always, never hesitate to contact me, and I look forward to viewing with you and talking with you this week. Bye now.